Alrighty, well, hello D&D friends, and welcome to Holy Rollerz Descent into Avernus, episode 16, the D&D show about a divine fellowship of clerics and paladins that descended into the hells to rescue the city of Elturel. This is our Sword Hunter stream. Holy Rollerz is a 9-person stream with 2 parties switching off every week in theory, the Chainbreakers and the Sword Hunters. Let us now introduce our Sword Hunter cast for tonight, starting with John.
Okay, I am unmuted. Hello, everyone. My name is John. I play Thora Mikitas, a druid of Finhifara, the mother of elemental earth.
Very good. And let's have Ryan.
Bard Paladin.
We can't hear you. Try again. Move the mic closer.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm Ryan. I play Lachlan, the Bard Paladin of Sindel, goddess of love, beauty, and truth.
Ooh.
And I am Tommy, and I play Odelia. I'm a halfling cleric of Moiris, but also just a wee bit barbarian.
What's up, everybody? I am JT. I play Anduriel. Anduriel is a warlock cleric, warlock to the Piper, who is a Fey lord, and then cleric of Nalok, who is the god of shadow and death and darkness and things.
At least he is for now. Yeah.
He's very brooding, so I'm brood.
So a few parts Batman, a few parts
Oh yeah, darkness.
a few parts I don't know.
And a few parts Colonel Sanders.
There you go. And a few
little bit.
Recently, a little Colonel Sanders has snuck in. It made it harder to be a Cerbic because he's just a jolly.
Yeah. It's difficult when you're thinking about delicious fried chicken to be grumpy at anything. Although
boy, you ain't lying.
Although I'll try. Okay. And very good. I am Matt, also known as Sage of Sorcery. I am your humble ginger dungeon master for the evening. And thanks to Tommy, I'm now not the only slightly ginger presence we have on stream, for which we are very grateful. So there is that. So now for a brief recap. Last time on our Sword Hunter stream, the Hallowed Council entered the mind of their Phoenix companion Ashbeak and forced the fiery celestial creature to remember his time at the side of Zariel, Archduchess of Avernus. After a harrowing psychic battle against Ashbeak at his fully evolved form, and interference by Odelia's temper, Thora's neutrality, and Anduriel's insecurities, the party triumphed. When Ashbeak relived his memories of Zariel's fall, the priests also learned about the Sword of Zariel, an artifact of immense power holding a portion of Zariel's grace and former angelic power. Ashbeak insisted the sword could be used to destroy the solar incendiators, keeping Horta and Elturel trapped on this plane. However, Ashbeak also told us that it could be used to redeem Zariel from her fallen state, which has the potential to topple the first layer of hell, Avernus, or at least throw it into chaos. And so, guided by the Phoenix's memories, the party speeds towards Avernus, across Avernus, in Mad Maggie's infernal war machine. She granted everybody a tormentor. And that war machine is heading towards supposedly the resting place of the Sword of Zariel and the object of their quest in the 9 hells. So we are much closer to the object of our quest. So as you're zooming along in this infernal war machine, this lovely tormentor, which is a vicious looking thing, I will go ahead and take the book and show you a wonderful picture of what a tormentor is supposed to look like. It's that vehicle right there that my finger is next to. It's about
it's got
the size.
buzzsaw blades for wheels.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's got buzzsaw blades for wheels, and it has some lovely scythe weapons on it also. So it's a pretty nifty vehicle that Mad Maggie's hooked you up with. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Pardon me. That's the first probably of many sneezes tonight. So, in any case, you are zooming along, and this thing's wheels are grinding up the terrain as you go over it. The wheels are spiked. They're made of infernal iron, and the soul coin that you stuck in it is in there, and it's just kind of moving that machine going. You are you're full on power right now. It doesn't feel like there's been any loss of power. If there is a power gauge, which you haven't been able to figure out yet, it would probably seem like it was full blast right now. And so you are just zipping along now and tearing up the road. And on the way, Ashbeak is telling you about your destination. He tells you, he says, okay, so let me break this down for you. We're headed to Haramon's Hill. It's an awful place. That's where Zariel is tormenting all the knights who betrayed her when they closed the portal back to the world of Faerun. Now, we were making actual progress with the demons, you know. We strike all heavy like paladins and clerics, flinging light and swords all over the place. Like, you know, kind of like all of yous, and except more and more powerful. And then we retreat, and the devils would mop up what we left behind. It was a good system. So, you know, the demons was losing ground all up and down the river Styx. But see, this one time, the fighting gets all hairy. And this vampire elf that Zariel let tag along, Janda Sunstar, he starts to panic. And he sounds the retreat against orders. Can you imagine that?
Shameful.
Not in
It's
the
a vampire for you.
slightest.
Yeah, vampires suck. They're the worst.
And he says, well, there's panic on the battlefield, as you can imagine. And Janda runs through with his whole unit, and they seal off the portal. The demons closed in on us from all sides, and we fell. I mean, I don't remember how I got from there to the Vistani lady's wagon, but this much I do know. She punished them traitors, but good. She impaled them on these iron trees, and her sword, she left her sword in that vampire elf. Can you believe it? Anyway, I don't think anybody's stupid enough to go up to Haramon's Hill. I mean, you know, except us, but we kind of have to, you know.
Well, hold on. Point of order, Bird. So the sword we're after is currently residing inside a vampire elf.
Well, I mean, you know, it's not a traditional sheath, but yeah.
Well, that could be a problem.
Well, I don't know. If I was you, I'd want somebody to take it out. But I mean, either way, you got to get that sword. I don't see how you're going to do this without it.
I agree. I completely agree.
I mean, unless you know of some other artifact-destroying weapon lying around in Avernus. Any of you all heard of anything?
No.
Are there crickets in Avernus? Thora, any crickets you can conjure up?
I mean, I'm sure I could conjure up crickets if you really want crickets, but I don't think they're going to be much use.
No, it just seemed like a cricket moment. Like the sound effect would have
Oh,
been...
yeah. Excuse me. Hold on one second.
There you go.
Perfect.
That's lovely. Okay. Alrighty. So, in any case, that's what we're looking at right here. Now, as we're trucking along here, tearing up the terrain of Avernus, you're getting kind of a good look through the little window that you've got in the front at the landscape of Avernus, and it really is awfully monotonous. Who just kind of sticks out with him.
He's a bit of a... Okay.
I'm
Tommy?
ready if he's not
All
ready.
right, Tommy, who does Odelia feel just a little bit superior to?
Lachlan.
Lachlan. And why is that?
She finds his motives lacking. She feels like she's driven by a much higher cause than anything she's seen from this kid.
Okay.
She still doesn't really understand why the kid is in charge of all of this.
All righty. And what about Anduriel?
He's gonna go for Thora.
Thora, because
And Duriel thinks Thora is so passive and so indecisive. It kills him inside to watch him just be so indecisive all the time. As powerful as he is, he's just a bench warmer.
You find him wishy-washy. Is that
Yeah.
okay? All right. So both of you, unfortunately, are going to be forced to make an offhand snarky comment along the lines of those thoughts. So tell me, what escapes out of your mouth?
I'm so excited.
Let's see.
It's entirely up to you. You just have to vocalize that sentiment you just expressed.
Odelia leans over to Anduriel and says, now you're clearly the actual leader of this group. Tell me again why the pretty boy over there is in charge of everything?
Oh boy.
Okay.
Do I hear this?
Oh, she says it out loud, and there.
Oh yes,
I mean,
she has no tact whatsoever.
You would know if you had shown up on time.
Oh.
Helping other people.
I'm gonna hide it.
Priorities.
okay.
I'm gonna hide off screen.
Okay.
Don't listen to him now, Odelia. The little boy spent a week or so worried about a growth on his face. Now, I don't know. He's in charge. That's fine. What I don't understand is the sack of uselessness back there, that sack of bugs who can't decide whether he's going to crap or get off the pot. Every time we get in this situation, it's like NATO trying to decide if they're going to help out a bomb someplace. It takes years. I don't understand it.
That's true, and it sounds terrible when he's a pile of bugs. All those little mouths just click, click, clack. Terrible.
I understand how you feel.
Not all those little bugs. They have little mouths on them little bugs, but something's got to come out the other end too.
Ugh, that's disgusting.
Okay, Anduriel and Odelia, you both kind of come to yourselves, and you realize that you have been influenced by the plane on which you are currently trapped. And the thought pops into your head rather strongly that you never, of your own volition, would have said something like that. And you're a little bit... It's up to you. I don't know. How do you feel? Anduriel, satisfied? I'm not sure.
I'd like to say I'm sorry.
I don't think you are.
Ashbeak,
sitting on I'm just speaking the truth here. You didn't look sorry.
Well, I just
No
said
need
I
to
would like to say
apologize.
I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. I understand that a lot of what I do makes people uncomfortable.
Oh, Lachlan, I'm sorry. I don't know how that came out of my mouth, but I'm sure you're doing your very best. You're a very nice boy.
I mean, but he is a boy. That's kind of hard to get past.
Well, yes. I mean, it's not untrue, but I am sorry I said it the way I did.
Well, truth is a good thing. Ashbeak just hops over to your shoulder, Lachlan.
I don't think that it's my age or me is I'm the reason that I'm the voice, but I think it's rather my deed.
You're what?
Sindel. Well, being superior to the other gods, I think that's why I'm the voice.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I would just end this conversation with the lad right away because you're not going to get anywhere of any substance. He's the leader, and we just support him best we can. He's good in the scrap, aren't you, Lachlan?
I'm still bothered by the soul coins. I'm still thinking I should just somehow destroy these other 2 soul coins to free the souls. So he's a little preoccupied.
Well, there was discussion on that matter, on whether or not you wanted to destroy the soul coins and free the souls that were trapped in the coins. You all have magic or enchanted weapons, and it could be done. Probably not a good idea to do it inside the Tormentor, but... Okay. So you go trucking along here, and Lachlan's sitting there worrying about the coins as you go tearing up the landscape of Avernus. And off in the distance, a short ways away, you start to see some kind of structures jutting up from the ground. You're not entirely sure what they are yet, but you'll be upon them relatively soon. So is Lachlan going to say anything about the coins, or is he just going to stew?
Right now, I'm just gonna stew. Just hold them and stew. But
All right,
Typical
Ashby.
teenager.
seeing those structures, I turn to the bird. Is he still on my shoulder?
Yeah, he's sitting on your shoulder, and
What
he's actually
what's
leaned
that?
over, and his head is kind of like looking back at you. So he's just kind of like doing one of these, and he's like, and he looks at you and he goes, "Are you wearing lip gloss?"
It's all natural.
Oh, okay.
It's good,
Well,
huh?
He's
Hey,
a drooler bird. He just drools all the time.
It's not.
what is all this?
Oh,
Ashbeak.
he's like, "Oh, that's Harriman's Hill. It's an awful place. And that's Hell's version of a tree. Made out of iron. They got branches, but that's about where the similarities end."
How big is this hill? Aren't we supposed to be finding the sword here?
According to Ashbeak, the sword is stuck in the elf Jander Sunstar.
Is it? Are we talking like Grand Canyon sized?
It's a hill.
Area, or-
It's a hill, not a canyon. So it's actually the
No,
opposite.
I just mean the size of this. Are we talking like a
It's-
couple miles, or like?
It's pretty large. You're talking a couple miles wide. There are not, as you are approaching, there are not these iron trees all up and down the hill. There's just kind of a copse of them up at the top of the hill that you're looking at. But the tormentor probably will have no hard time at all going up the hill. What more concerns you as you look at this hill is that the closer you get, the more you realize that there is a lahar stream of lava coming across the hill in different places. It's running down the side of the hill. You're not sure if the hill itself is volcanic or if this is just a lahar that's coming from another mountain in the distance. They're all over the place. I mean, Avernus is a blasted landscape like that. Do you have a question, John?
I was going to out of curiosity, I rolled nature on the iron trees. I was curious, do they appear alive? I rolled a natural 17 and my nature's higher than my endurance for a 31.
They are in fact alive. But they're also an expression of the way that nature has been twisted in Avernus. These iron trees were created by Bel, who was the former archdemon the former archdevil that Zariel ousted, shall we say, or replaced. And so he created them quite a long time ago. And they grow in Avernus, and who knows what horrible things they're feeding on, but they do grow like trees. They're just kind of their twisted version of nature.
Thora is uncomfortable.
Okay. I would like everyone to make a perception check, please.
I'm good at those too. Not with that roll. Uh-oh.
23.
Okay.
20.
With a natural 2, 16.
Okay.
I got a 16 as well.
All right. So what did you get again, Odelia? A 20?
23.
Okay, you and Anduriel are just kind of glancing around, trying to get a better look out the window. And as Anduriel takes a turn, the two of you see that behind you there is some kind of a dust cloud that looks to be quite far away. It could be an hour away from where you are, but it looks like it's heading in your direction.
Oh dear, that does not look promising.
Well, what's in front of you doesn't look too great either, sweetheart.
I really don't like hell.
So Andero is gonna ask Ashbeak, Bert, how far away are we from this elf vampire? We need to get moving.
I don't know. He's somewhere at the top of the hill in that forest. And he makes quotes with his wings. Forest.
Well, I would just like to draw everyone's attention to that cloud of dust behind us there. I don't anticipate it has great intentions. So we need to get to the top of this hill fast as possible.
Okay, Ashbeak says, you want I should fly back and take a look? I mean, I don't know if that's a great idea. You know, I'm one phoenix alone flying in hell, but I'm brave enough if you want me to go, you know, see if I can have a look-see. I think I'm a little bit faster on my wings than you all are on your feet.
I think that's a great idea, bud.
Okay. He looks over at Lachlan and he says, well, I mean, you know, it's okay with me if, you know, Earth Angel over here wants me to go, but aren't you supposed to be the leader or something? Do you want me to go? I mean, I don't want to offend anybody here.
Go for it.
Okay. So you open up the hatch and Ashbeak takes off into the sky. And he goes flying in the direction of the cloud. And he covers the ground a lot more easily than you do because he's flying in a straight line, whereas you had to go up, over, around, you know, all over the place. And so he manages to get there a little bit more easily. But it's going to take him a while to get there and get back. You want to wait for him or head up the hill?
Head up the hill.
Okay. All right.
We don't know how long this soul coin's going to last, so let's get all the juice out of this.
All right. All right, so you put the tormentor back into drive. Maybe you downshift because you're going up a hill, and you go trucking along, and it goes tearing up the side of that hill, and that is when you find yourself right here.
Okay.
At that lovely map, right there on the edge. Now,
Jolly good.
You got a problem. You have not gone through a lahar yet of lava on your in your tormentor, and you're not really sure if the lahar is going to damage the tormentor or if the tormentor is fireproof. You never asked Mad Maggie that, and it's not like this thing came with an owner's manual. Although you haven't checked the glove compartment.
It has a glove compartment.
Well, it's more of a mouth with fangs on it.
I know, that's one thing. I don't want to. I don't want to open it up. You probably left something in there.
You
Probably
think it
like
might
it.
be storage, but you're kind of afraid to touch it. So
There might
You
be a
dead
red
mice, a
cap in there.
takeout menu.
yeah.
Every time somebody reaches toward it, it just goes.
Yeah.
I just looked at Anduriel and as he's approaching and say, "Gun it."
Do it.
Thor, I'll take that as a gun it. Here we go.
Dude, and your cooler. Dude, and your cooler. Okay.
He drops it in and just goes for it.
All right, Anduriel, you go tearing through the lahar, and you are now in squares 5 and 6, and you manage to successfully cross over. So that is not a problem for you. And it's still trucking along. There are bodies in every single one of these trees. And it's kind of hard to see inside the tormentor. It's kind of hard to get a look. And a lot of them are wearing plate mail armor. It's thrashed and it's tattered. And now that you are actually up on the top of Haramon's Hill, you can see that the branches have these knights impaled upon them. It is a gruesome and grisly scene before you. But you also can't get a good look at them from inside the tormentor. So you can either head straight to the big tree or you can keep looking. You really don't know, and Ashbeak's not here, and he didn't know either. He knows Jed or Sunstar is here somewhere.
This is awful.
I think Jed or Sunstar is going to look different. He's going to have a big sword poking out of him. I mean, I feel bad for all these things too. I feel bad for the souls trapped in these 2 coins in my pocket, but that's not what we're here for.
No, we should continue.
Let's find the sword and get out of here as quickly as we can. This place creeps me out.
I agree.
We need to move on.
All right. Well, it's not obvious where you are right now that any of the knights around you are impaled by the sword of Zariel. And you have a good idea of what it looks like because you saw it in Ashbeak's memory. It's like a long blue crystal longsword.
Is there like a top of this hill It seems like this is like it's such an important thing. Like maybe it would be a good idea to go to the top of the hill or the biggest tree or.
Well, you can see the biggest tree on the map is in the distance. And so you can't, I mean, you're not close enough to get a good look at it. But you are, I mean, you can move in that direction if you want to, or you can check the other trees and lift the visors on some of the knights' helmets. It's up to you.
I say we go straight to the biggest tree and fan out from there.
Any objections?
That
No,
sounds like a good idea.
And that's a good place to wait for Ashby, because maybe once he returns, if it's not where we can see it from the big tree, then he'll be able to have a bird's eye view of the area and can find it.
You're young, but your dad joke game is on point, Lachlan.
All right. So are you going to cross over the next Lahar also?
Well, I don't want to do it on foot.
Well, I mean, some of these are small enough that you could probably jump it if you went across. Of course, if you tripped and fell, that would be bad too.
Do you know how hot lava is? Rather not.
That's a bit hot. Yeah.
Sam and Frodo sat on a rock and lava was flowing all around him and no big deal. Right? We'll be okay.
I'm sure you'll be fine. I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't worry
I just watched episode 3 of Star Wars and I can tell you it can be damaging.
Well, for now we have the high ground, so I'm not worried.
Right, we have the high ground.
We are at the
let's
top
try
of the
to cross
hill.
it.
This whole area is part of the top of the hill. It's quite expansive, the top of the hill itself. So, all right, you cross over one and tell me where you want to end up. The Tormentor is a large creature and it covers 4 squares. Tell me where you want to park.
I think we want to end up 18, 19, well, 19 and 20, F and G. Does that sound good, guys?
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Now, are all of you going to get out?
Thora definitely is.
Okay.
Oh, I do not want to stay in this thing.
Okay. You'd much rather get out along this.
I think I want to stay in it, get as high as I can up on top of the machine, but I want to stay on the machine.
Okay.
If we have to make a quick getaway, I want this thing to like keep it running, you know?
Okay. You want the motor running? All right.
Yep.
I would like all of you to make a perception check, please.
Natural one.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
Natural 20.
Oh, ooh, very good. Okay.
23 total.
All right.
16.
So Odelia,
I'm checking my teeth in a mirror.
Yeah.
So I'm putting any,
Lachlan's doing that whole thing with Gaston, where Gaston's like, like.
No.
Okay. So Anduriel, he is actually perched on top of the Tormentor, looking in a mirror at his teeth. Just letting you know. Odelia, you catch sight of that because your check is so high. Now, those of you who rolled higher than 20, you look over and just happen to glance at the Tormentor and see that some of the wheels, spikes on the Tormentor are glowing, burning hot. You're worried if you don't let them cool down that they might melt. You're also worried that if something else happens, they could shatter. But you're worried if you go over one more Lahar in this bad boy without waiting for it to cool down or using some other method to cool down, that you might be in a bad way here. You might lose your ride. So it's up to you to determine what you want to do.
Okay, question for the DM.
Yes, that would be me. Yeah.
Chillwind is not a utility power. It deals cold damage. Would that be damaging to the vehicle?
You're not really sure if it would be damaging to the vehicle.
Okay.
But I can tell you that let's have you make a knowledge nature check.
Okay. 24.
24. Okay, Thora, here's what you know. these spikes on your tormentor have to be pretty hot if they're glowing from the heat. Now, you can probably, given the temperature of your chill wind, use it to cool it down faster and possibly get out of here a little bit sooner if you do that.
Okay.
But you know your spell is not powerful enough to shatter them or whatnot. I mean, you can cool it down, but it's only a first level spell, and granted, it isn't at will, so you can spam it. But that being the case, the temperature of the spell is not powerful enough to damage it. So you think it might be very effective if you kind of start cooling this bad boy down.
Well, you guys look around. I'm gonna take care of the wheels. And he will then begin walking. He will walk close enough that he's out of the range of the heat, and there's like just a cool breeze coming from off of him in toward the vehicle.
Okay, very cool. So Thora's over there with a blow dryer, like cooling this bad boy down,
like a gentle fart.
Yeah, like a gentle fart. Now, are you gonna stick to one wheel, or are you gonna go wheel, like in a?
Yeah, to give him enough time that, like, as someone who has experienced temperature shock in metal and in stone, he is going to go one after the other and let them kind of relax after each treatment.
Okay. All right, so Thora is moving around there, and the rest of you, Lachlan, you're staying on top of the hog there, or the tormentor, and Odelia and Duriel, you go approaching this lovely little tree area, and I am going. You need to turn the page.
I don't need this one anymore.
All right, let me show you what it is you see.
Oh boy.
Impaled up on the tree. Because the artwork is rather dramatic.
Oh dear.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You look up and you see a gold elf who is violently impaled. He's violently impaled across the front of that tree.
Nice.
And it's looking pretty gruesome. You also get a good look. He's kind of high up on there, but you get a good look at him, and Duriel, you are reasonably sure that he's a vampire. No one in the party would recognize better than you. And he is animated, shall we say. I won't say he's alive, but he also looks so weak that he is drained mostly of blood, and he looks like he's incoherent or not even barely conscious. And that's when you see something that's even more disturbing. A nasty little critter from squares 21 and 22 R and S flies over from that tree that looks kind of like a pelican with a long, sharp, pointy beak. And it comes over and flies to the top of the tree and lands on Jander's shoulder and pierces him and begins dripping blood into him. And you see him briefly come awake or alive or coherent. He comes to himself enough to snap at this thing with his fangs and give out and as he does so, he jostles his body on the spikes and lets out a cry of agony that's like ah! And this thing flies back to that tree, and another one flies over from squares 16 and 17 U and V and does the exact same thing and brings him to awareness by dripping a little bit of blood from its sharp, pointy beak, and then flies back. And they bring him awake enough to the point where he can feel pain. But that's really it. You can tell Zariel's torment for his betrayal is quite ingenious.
Ooh.
What about the sword?
There's no sword sheathed in him that you can see, but It could be hidden, like it could be jamming into his back. I mean, you'd have to climb the tree and really get a good look. It could also be, you know, slid into his back. I mean, you really have, you have not a very good viewpoint from where you are now.
Well, I suppose we should get closer.
Oh, you have to. It's the worst.
A word
While
of
he's
caution.
moving closer, I'm going to keep an eye out for these birds, and if another one flies over, I'm gonna ready chucking my harpoon at it.
Okay. All right. Miss Odelia readies an action to skewer another one of these critters. Would you like to try to identify it, Thora?
I could.
Anyone else here trained in nature?
The only reason I didn't volunteer that was because I was like,
well, there's a flapping critter. There's a flapping critter moving through the air. I think you can probably get a good idea. The rest of you can make a nature check too.
oh geez, 27.
Okay.
That is a.
This guy is on fire
17.
today.
17. Well, good. I think you're going to need him to be on fire. That's good. So you identify it quite easily with a 17 Anduriel as a pretty common pest. We have these on Ienia, the world that you came from. They're called sturges, and they are nasty little blood draining parasites. Basically, they're like pelican sized mosquitoes and larger. They're worse than vultures. And you know that sturges have this tendency to paralyze with their beak and to drain blood. Their beak doesn't actually open. It's like a funnel or a tube.
Proboscis.
They're proboscis. Thank you. And so, you know, sturges have been known to paralyze the wound and kill people by draining them completely of blood and they've slept through the entire process of their death.
Lovely.
Gross.
Well, Anduriel's going to try and get closer to the elf to see if he can find the sword.
All right, Anduriel, would you make a climb check, please?
I would.
Oh, goodness gracious. Excuse me.
Excuse me. It's an athletics check, my friend.
It's a 19 on the dice, so half my level. 24.
24. Okay. Alrighty. Anduriel, you climb up the tree and you get the closer you get to the sky, the more disturbing Avernus becomes, because you see like flaming meteors like streaking across the sky and kind of like crashing off into the distance. And it's not pleasant. It's not like, oh, look, a shooting star. It's like, oh my goodness, that could land on us. And, getting closer to the sky of Avernus is no more comforting than being on the ground, shall we say, with the lava. So in any case, Anduriel, you climb up the tree quite easily. It's not hard. You have managed to get up there pretty easily. Odelia, you have your readied harpoon ready to skewer something. You see movement, Odelia, in several of the trees. And you hear, because you're paying attention to it, you hear the birds, or the sturges rather, making some kind of angry noise as you watch Anduriel climb. They're not at this point launching themselves at you, but Anduriel's climbing is agitating sturges all around the area.
Where are the nearest sturges?
There's one in 21 and 22 in that tree in R and S. There are some moving in 16 and 17 UV. There are some moving in 12 and 13 O and P, and some moving in 13 and 14 E and F. So they're moving. They're not flying or attacking, but at this point, they're Anduriel's agitating.
Well, I'm going to ready an action if one of them starts to fly towards Anduriel, to blast it.
Okay. Anduriel, you climb up and you get near this sun elf, and he's like, and he looks up at you, and he looks at you, and his eyes are just kind of fogged over. You're not even sure if he's really seeing you or not. And he rasps out, he's like, have you come to mock me, Strahd? Is that why you're here?
Well, I don't know who that is, vampire. I'm just here for the sword.
I bet you think you're so untouchable. I bet you're happy, aren't you?
Again, vampire, I don't know who you're talking about. I'm here for the sword.
All right. He says, you're far more vampire than I am. You murdered that poor girl. You murdered it. He's racked by a spasm. And he said, someday.
I communicate telepathically up to Anduriel, say, you're going to have to give him a drink.
Come again, bud?
Not a big drink, but you know what he's going through.
That thought had crossed my mind. Yes, it had. Okay.
I mean, you don't have to. I'm just...
Here's the issue. I need someone ready to step in. He has been starved beyond recognition. I don't know if he'll be able to control himself. And I don't know if he gets so powerful that I can't pull away. Someone needs to be ready to step in and get him off me.
I'll blast you right out of the tree if it gets out of hand.
Preferably blast him, but whatever. All right, I'm gonna try and give him a drink. So Andurio's gonna take his kukri,
okay,
and raise his hand and just cut a slice in his palm, and let the blood kind of well up in his palm, and then he's gonna try and just cup it into the guy's mouth.
Okay, so Anduriel, this is a very surreal experience for you. Having been through this, not only yourself, but having had a companion do the same thing for you, the irony is not lost upon you. And any visible signs? Does he look uncomfortable? Is he disturbed by what he does, or stoic?
No, he's just more stoic. It's kind of like he knows what needs to be done, and it's nothing new to him.
Does he brood more? Does he slightly brood more?
It's like, I hope you appreciate this.
Okay. All right. As you bleed into him, he moves just ever so slightly, and you see a little bit of color come back through the blue veins that are crisscrossed across his chest and over his face. And he's still violently pale, but he gains a little bit of red around the irises of his eyes, and you see life coming back to him again. And he comes awake enough to like lean forward as much as he can, trying not to move his body on the spikes. And he comes more fully awake or alert. And he groans again at the pain, but he opens his eyes and looks at you. He says, You are not Strahd. Who are you? Why have you come to see our torment?
I'm Anduriel. I have come with other members of the Divine Fellowship. We're here to save the world, basically. We need the sword. We need Zariel's sword to do so. That's why we're here.
You need Zariel's sword. What do you hope that will accomplish? She cast it aside long ago, and she cast aside her grace and her divine purpose, as did I.
Well, that sword has the power to destroy something holding us here in Avernus. That's why we need it. We simply need the sword and its power. I had heard from a Phoenix friend, well, acquaintance more like, that the sword could be found on your person.
A Phoenix? What was his name?
His name's Ashbeak.
Okay, his eyes kind of widen as he looks at you, and he says, Zariel's companion.
The same.
And he says, Ashbeak is alive. That is something. He says, I know where the sword lies. It is far from here, trapped and guarded. It will not be relinquished easily. And I will tell you where it is. If you will swear to end my torment, please, bear me off of this horrid contraption. Free my soul to whatever it might await. I can bear this no longer. I did it to myself. This is all my fault. I betrayed her. It is my fault. I made her what she is. I pled with the great god Lathander. I welcomed the dawn. And this was my punishment. That anything is better than this. Even oblivion. Free me from this tree. And I will tell you where her sword lies if you but swear to free me from this.
I will free you from the tree, but I don't believe that it's your time to perish quite yet. There may be a chance for you to redeem yourself.
Okay, he looks up at you and he says, that is what I thought. It is what I hoped and believed with every part of my soul when I stood before the dawn and pled for Lathander's mercy. And he sent me here. He let her have me. I don't believe there's mercy waiting for me. I am too far past it. I have taken the lives of the innocent. And for my... He breaks into a racking cough, which jostles him on the spikes, and then he just groans and writhes and tries not to move in agony. And you can tell that he is losing consciousness or will soon lose consciousness.
All right, Will. And Anduriel's just going to call down to the group. We need to get this fellow out of this tree as quickly as we can. The sword's not here, but he knows where it's at, and he can tell us where to go.
Yank him off.
I'm still going to be on watch for something.
Okay.
I don't trust these things.
How are the wheels looking?
Better. You've had a chance to go through on one full rotation through this whole bad boy, and everything is looking much better to you.
Okay. In which case, who will let them cool a little more naturally now and turn and look up and say, do you need help getting him off?
Well, he's a vampire, so he's going to be pretty hardy. I don't know that we need to catch him or anything, and it might actually be good if when he gets to the ground, he can't get up and come after us. So just sort of be down there when I get him off these spikes. He's going to hit hard, and be ready to defend yourself, or you may need to give him a drink to revive him.
Okay. Alrighty. Anduriel, I'm going to need you to make an athletics check, please, to try to get this bad boy pulled off of the spikes.
Alrighty. Okay, that's a 17 on the dice. I'm not trained in athletics, but I can add 23.
Okay. All right. So it takes some doing because he is jostled. He's very securely stuck on there, and you have to do it in kind of segments, and it is agony for him. And he screams out in torment as you pull him off. And as he is screaming, as you get his torso off, and then you pull him off you're pulling him off by the chest, and he looks at you and he says, "The bleeding citadel, the bleeding citadel, the heart of Avernus, the bleeding citadel, the sword." You pull him off all the way, and his body crumbles into ashes in front of you. And the ash just kind of covers you, Anduriel, and then falls down around the ground and is just blown by a hot gust of infernal wind, and it's scattered on the breeze.
Okay. Anduriel's gonna kind of look at his hands, see some of the ash still there, and he's gonna kind of just pray to Naylock. Naylock, if there's any something you can do to guide that soul to an eternal rest, please do so. He's helped us.
Okay. You are overcome by a sense of peace. Not an answer in any way, shape, or form, but you feel Naylock's presence with you briefly, the way you would when you cast a clerical spell.
In Avernus, that's something. All right.
And just as you have all of this happen, from around all of you, there is a horrid screeching sound, and the Sturges go nuts.
Well,
there it is.
And they launch themselves careening towards Anduriel. Okay, so the first thing that happens here is, Odelia, your readied action goes off as part of a surprise round before anything else happens. So
21.
Odelia, you
Mine as
make
well?
a 21. Yes. All righty. 21, Odelia, is exactly what you needed to hit.
Ooh,
There,
nice.
Odelia, tell me what square you're in at the base of that tree.
I am in. Let's see, Andrea, where are you?
He's up in the
I'm
tree. Anduriel
up the
is in
tree.
square
Tree,
20K.
okay. I will
Yeah.
be in 20I.
Okay. 20I. All right, there's Miss Odelia. All right, so Odelia, the one that is going to come closer to you is the one coming from 13 and 14 F and G. So you are going to be able to huck your harpoon at him when he is in square 16G and hit him. So you may go ahead and roll damage for a melee basic attack. Is there anything special that you intend on doing? I'm not sure there's anything you can do with this.
No, I just yell, "Be gone, you beasties!"
Okay.
And that's 5 damage.
Okay. So he does not like you, Odelia. 5 points of
How
damage.
that effect on some people.
It's not. Okay. Odelia, you also now have your harpoon sticking into the side of this Sturge, who is not happy about that. So you're going to have to go after him to get it back, or attack with your dagger or short sword, whatever you've got on you. All right, so now it's time to roll initiative, my friend.
Wait, does my ready action go off too?
No, I've decided to punish you for what happened in our last stream. So yes, your ready to action goes off as well.
Because I got a 23 versus Will.
Which one are you attacking, Lachlan? The same one?
The same one. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so he's gonna take 9 thunder damage, and be pushed back to G13.
Okay.
Thunder damage.
So, just swipe the sword, thrust it out for knock back.
All right.
There.
Mr. Sturge 1. Now it is initiative, my friends. And the Sturges get themselves a lovely 19.
Thora rolled a natural 19 for a 25.
Very nice.
You're a rolling machine today.
These guys are working for me today.
Did you say 26, Andrew?
26, yep.
Okay.
Dang.
It's go time.
I got an 8.
Oh my goodness.
With your bonus, too?
With my bonus, yeah.
And you were rolling so well last time. It seems like you
Dang.
used up all your luck or something. I don't know.
Dang,
That's
Lachlan
what my
Odelia must have hurt your
next one
feelings
would be like.
bad.
Okay, Miss Odelia.
Well,
A 12. All righty.
I would have rolled better, but Odelia made fun of me.
What happened? Do you hurt my feel goods? Let's not. Okay, up at the top, Anduriel, my friend. You are at the tippy tip top of that tree. It is your turn first. You got Sturges coming at you from the 21 and 22 tree on R and S. You got Sturges coming at you from 16 and 17 UV. You got Sturges coming at you from P and Q, 12 and 13. And you got Sturges coming at you from 13 and 14 F and G.
Well, sounds like a lot of fun.
And they are flying straight at you, my friend. You have aggroed.
Can I use my my move action to get out of the tree? Is that
Yeah.
a move or is that a standard?
Nope, that's a move action. You can slide down. You need an athletics check of 5, and you can drop down wherever you want.
That is a 10. Okay.
Okay. Takes you 2 squares to get down. You got 1 more square of movement.
I'm going to move over to 19J.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So then I'm going to attack the nearest beastie.
The one Odelia harpooned is the nearest one.
That's the one. With Shadow Claws.
Okay.
Actually, no, yeah, Shadow Claws. Shadow Claws.
Shadow.
It is versus Fortitude.
Okay. His fortitude is a whopping 18.
So that is an 11 plus. It's 21.
That's more than enough. Okay. Roll that beautiful damage.
Here we go. 10. That is a 6, 12 plus 18 points of damage.
Okay.
Target takes cold damage 2 plus if it
Would you
moves
like
during
to
its
use
next
your
turn.
minor action to Warlock curse him first so that you can add that?
Oh, I'd forgotten. I thought that was my move action, but it is, yeah. I'll put
That's
a
just
curse on
that's a
him.
minor.
Yeah. And then add a dice 6 or 2 dice 6 at my roll.
Yes. Actually, right? Is it 2 dice 6 yet? Isn't that not yet? Brian, you're muted, my friend.
Sorry. No, it's 1d6.
Yeah,
1
sorry.
dice
It's
6?
only it's healing surge that does or healing word that does 2 dice 6. Your Warlock curse doesn't go up until level 11.
Gotcha. Okay.
Although you're not far.
So that is an additional 5.
Okay. So 23 points of damage. In addition to Lachlan's 9. That is a poor little beastie. He doesn't look like he can take too many more hits. That little critter. As Anduriel conjures up claws made out of shadow, and they go in and pierce this bad boy and kind of like rip it up and rip it to shreds according to your gestures.
Yep. And then as it tries to move out of it, if it tries to move out of it, they just clamp down even harder. Just.
Okay. Does it only do damage, or does it have another effect?
It does. If the target tries to move during the next turn, it takes 2 plus my my dexterity modifier.
Oh, that's going to
damage.
hurt. Okay. All right, Thora, my friend, it is your turn. Thora, you are over by the Tormentor. I'm figuring you're probably on 19 and 20, somewhere over there in E or F. Where do you want to be?
E or F. As I look over here, I will be in E19.
Okay.
Yes, E19. As I try and look at it and
Okay.
make sure I'm looking at the right spot. Could you give me a quick refresher on where all of the scourges are?
Yes, no problem. So Lachlan has pushed one of them back from into square 13G.
Okay.
There are others that are flying, and one in 14-0.
14-0. Okay.
There are others that are flying in from 18T.
18T.
Yes.
18.
And there are some flying in from 21 and 20, from square 20 R.
And R20.
Yep.
That's the one I was missing. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, Thora is not a ranged boy. So I think he's not going to be much use right now. So he is going to shift into his beast form just for those added defenses. And then he is going to climb up on top of the Tormentor like Lachlan, but on the other side. So 19G.
Okay.
And he is going to ready a chill wind for when something is in range. Actually, it's within 10 squares. Hold on. I can still hit the one on 13G. Never mind. I'm just going to do that.
Okay. Get him.
We don't have our dailies, do we?
I don't believe.
It's not
we
a
didn't,
new day.
We did not stay the night at Maggie's, did we?
Oh,
no, we did not.
No, I'm pretty sure we jetted out of there rather quickly. So no, if you have a daily that you used previously, you do not have it back.
Gotcha.
Actually, I'm going to back that up a little bit. I think there's time for you to rest while you were driving. You drove for the better part of the day. So I think you would have been able to get back your dailies.
Okay.
So yeah,
Hey,
you drove
boys.
for the better. Ooh, is that a 20?
Oh, now that's nice.
Oh, roll that 20 again, please.
Oh, wait, yeah, I got to do this.
Back it up. Confirm your crit.
That's a 8.
Plus.
Plus 11 for a
versus fortitude.
19 versus fortitude. Yeah.
You hit. All right, you hit. Roll the 1d6, my friend.
Okay, hold on. Oh, wait, I got to keep you guys over here for that.
Let's have a 6.
It's a 3.
Well, that's still max damage,
Still
my friend.
good.
And you get to roll the crit damage for your magic item if it has one. For your staff.
I'm trying to fix my camera there. There we go. All right, so that is 15 points of damage plus 2d6.
Whoo, daddy.
For another 5 and another 2, so 22 total.
That's exactly what you needed to obliterate Sturge number 1. Okay, so you guys unload on this poor bird. Wow. I mean, it comes in and Odelia's like, harpoon! And she sticks it in the side. And Duriel, it's like struggling to fly with a harpoon in it. And Duriel grabs it with shadow claws. And then you reach out and fling frosted wind. And it suddenly can't keep itself aloft anymore. And goes and crashes down into the ground in square 13G with Odelia's harpoon sticking in it. And there you go. That is Thora's turn. Thora, you have a minor action, or no, you shifted. Okay.
Yep.
Now it is the Sturge's turn. Okay, and here they come. Sturge number 2. And Duriel, Sturge number 2 flies at you and moves into square 18K.
18.
And Duriel, as it gets near you, you can see this nasty little critter it's a rather big thing. It's small, but it's kind of Odelia-sized small. So it's like having a bird with a sharp, pointy proboscis the size of a Rottweiler attacking you.
Okay.
And so it comes at you, and it is going to try to bite you, Enduriel. Does a 25 hit your AC?
Oh, yes.
All right, Enduriel, Mr. Sturge sticks his proboscis into you for 4 points of damage, and he grabs you. Until the grab ends, the target takes ongoing 10 damage. So he bites, or he sticks his proboscis into you and starts to drain your blood. You've been giving away a lot of that lately, so
I'm going to use Kaiafon's leap and teleport away.
where you go?
Not into the lava.
Okay.
We're gonna go to 19H.
I applaud your strategy of not going.
I mean, I had to think about it for a minute. I'm like, not.
But
the
I mean,
lava.
really, it was a great idea. Don't go into the lava. It was such a good idea.
Don't
Okay.
follow the lava.
All right. Now, the other two sturges that come at you are actually two swarms of sturges that fly in towards you.
Great.
And they head towards you. They're going to take their fly speed of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 3, 4. All right, one of them, Odelia, stops and flies near you and stops in square 21J.
21J.
And the other one is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And is going into square 20G.
And 20G. Oh, great. He's next to me.
So, yeah, he is quite next to you. They have a blood frenzy aura. Any enemy that starts its turn in the aura takes 5 ongoing damage. If that enemy is already taking untyped damage, that damage increases by 5, excuse me. Oh boy, it's I really like the number 3. I had to say it. Like it is a swarm, my friends. So reminder, the swarm can occupy the same space as another creature, and an enemy can enter its space, which is difficult terrain. The swarm cannot be pulled, pushed, or slid by melee or ranged attacks. So just FYI, you are dealing with a swarm of creatures. They also take half damage from melee and ranged attack. A burst or a blast attack will do full damage to a swarm. They are actually vulnerable to that. So keep that in mind as you fight. It's kind of what you do, Thora.
It's what I do.
This kind of your moment. Okay. Odelia, Sister Odelia, Almiron, it is your turn.
Can I move over to where that sturge with my harpoon went down?
You can shift and then take a full movement and grab it, but that'll be your turn. You will also, is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Odelia, you shift next to Anduriel, which does not provoke an attack of opportunity. It's like 5th edition's disengage.
Mm-hmm.
You move over to Anduriel, and then I need you to make an athletics check. You only need a 10 to jump across the lahar. And you're trained in athletics, so I'm sure this will be easy. Are you? I think.
Aha! 22.
All right, Odelia goes running, and she Nadia Comaneci vaults and flips over and lands like boom, in like that. And then Naruto runs over, and so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Odelia, you can get back to square 15H if you would like to.
All right.
Now, that is where Odelia is. Now, your turn is done, Odelia, unless you want to use your action point.
No, I don't. Not yet.
Excuse me. Okay, that is the Odelia. Now it is the Lachlan on top of the Tormentor Lachlan.
So if I'm in 19F, then am I in the Sturge's aura?
Why, yes. Yes, you are.
Okay.
So that means that you take 5 points of damage, Lachlan.
And
and I'm so sorry about that, really. I mean, I'm going to lose. Yeah. JT, how do you feel about it? Are you okay with that, or is it going to bother you tonight later when we're done?
I'm going to have trouble sleeping.
Yeah, so am I. It's, yeah, sorry.
So
I legit hate Sturges.
Are there only 3 Sturges, Matt? 2 swarms and 1
2
Sturge?
swarms and 1 big boy, yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, right now there are.
1 beefy boy.
Yeah, one of them Sturges is a hefty lad, and he's
a big boy.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's an absolute unit. We're just coming up with different terms for big things.
Yeah.
Absolute unit.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start with using my rift boots. So,
Okay.
da da da, and then boom, gone.
All right, very very much like Michael Jackson, Lachlan puts his foot behind his heel and goes, "Oh!" and spins and explodes in a shower of glitter and teleports where?
I want to teleport into square K19.
Okay.
So that puts me next to the Sturge, not the Sturge swarm, correct?
Not the swarm, yes.
Okay. And that's my move. And that also leaves the swarm next to Thora dazzled, which is a -1 to its rolls. So,
okay.
Thank you.
It's like,
Very
what
nice.
just happened? I don't know, but I liked it.
Okay.
All of the Sturges in the
they're just
swarm
like,
are
oh, hooray!
All right. So
Well done, sir.
Thora, you're covered with glitter, but the and it's really kind of obvious on that brown robe of yours too.
This will never wash out.
Yeah, you're gonna be finding flecks of that forever. It's not coming out, not with one wash, but the Sturge swarm next to you, they squawk and they kind of shake their heads like they're having trouble seeing a bit. And then what, Lachlan?
And then I'm going to use Blunder on the Sturge next to me.
Okay,
It's against Will.
isn't that a
that's-
ranged attack?
Yep, but my expertise feats lets me do that without.
Oh, so nice.
So
Love
that's a
that
30,
expertise feat.
32 versus Will.
That's a hit. What a great roll. That's a fabulous hit.
So I'm only going to slide him 1 square into J18
Okay.
so that he stays adjacent to me. But he's going to take 11 points of damage, and I'm going to allow myself to make the melee basic attack.
All right.
So
they're going to take 5 points of damage, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so kind of waves his hand like this, and it goes spinning over just a little bit, and is on its way out. He's going to try and Babe Ruth and across Avernus. So
good luck.
Here we go. Another 18. So 18 plus 17 is 33.
Points of damage total?
No, that's to attack.
Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, you hit. Yeah, 33 hits pretty much everything at this level.
Okay, so the damage on this is going to be 14 radiant.
All right, so 7 points of radiant damage. Yes.
Yep.
Righty. They do not like that. So Lachlan explodes in glitter, teleports over, little Pied Pipers them this way, and then swings a glowing radiant sword and slashes through a couple of the Sturge bodies in that swarm.
I thought that one wasn't a swarm.
Sorry, you're right. This is not a swarm. I lied. I lied a lot and shamelessly. My apologies.
It's the thick one.
Yeah.
He mesmerized the swarm and stabbed the unit.
Okay. Now remember, this thing is flying. If you knock a flying creature prone, it falls. And so I'm just pointing that out. There is lava nearby. If you can manage to pull that off or push and pull, keep it in mind. Okay, very good. That is nice, Lachlan. Anything else that you would like to do?
Nope.
Okay. All right, back up to the top. And Duriel, you and Odelia feel the helplessness of hell settle in quite to you.
No.
And you're able to push it away, but it's bothering you in combat. You're feeling like even though you're trained adventurers, you're priests of powerful gods, and you're still thinking for some reason you might just lose this battle. And but you shake it off. However, if you get bloodied, you are going to be taking a -2 to your attacks and defenses, unfortunately. So don't get bloodied or heal quickly. Alrighty. And that's your turn, Anduriel.
That was my turn?
No, it's your turn now. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, your turn is not to feel hopeless.
Impressed.
Yeah. Your turn is to feel a little emo. Sorry,
Your
that's
turn is to think about what you've done. Oh man, that's heavy.
That's
Well,
what.
Sarah McLachlan starts playing in the background.
Oh no!
I would kukri myself.
There we go. It's not.
Let's go with. I'm going to attack the unit there with the Leviathan's Tooth, weapon of divine protection.
Okay.
Wait, he's flying. I don't. So I can't.
No, he's flying. But if you remember, he's close enough to hit you. He's only one square up in the air, which is still adjacent to you. It's just adjacent diagonal air as opposed to adjacent next to you.
All right.
Yeah, that was an unintentional dab.
Unintentional dab.
Just that way. Okay. My son would be so proud.
There.
Yeah.
Not over there.
Instead of over here, the surge is there.
Sorry.
All right, so that is a.
And this dab is just for Poinketh, right here. That's just. Like... In fact, can we all dab for Poinketh? Can everybody just
one for Poinketh? Ready?
One for Poinketh.
Boink.
Dab. There we go. All right.
That is
my friends are going to flame me later for that.
That's okay.
They're just jealous.
Okay, Andrea, what was that?
29.
All right, you are attacking the swarm.
Yeah, no, Sturge, the big Sturge.
The thick one.
Okay. So to do that, you're gonna shift over to. You're gonna have to shift to 19I.
Well, I have a move action anyways. Yeah, that's fine.
Why does he have to shift?
Because the Sturge is in J18. He wants to go after the not swarm.
Oh,
yeah,
the
not swarm.
Oh, he's ganging up on your Sturge, Lachlan. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Sorry, is that? I mean, that's okay.
Obviously he's very touchy about his Sturge. He's like, I got this one. This
one's attacked me first.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that is true. It did come after him. Like.
Oh, I gotta roll my weapon. 7, 12 points of damage.
Mr.
Allies
Sturge.
adjacent to me get +2 to defenses till end.
Except there are no allies adjacent to you right now, unfortunately.
Well, get adjacent to me, folks.
Okay.
Yeah,
dang it.
All right. Anduriel glows with a holy light that you feel like if you stepped into would feel really great, especially since you've seen him use this clerical spell before. All right, Anduriel, you stick your dagger, the Leviathan's tooth, into this bird, and it squawks and squawks, and it tries to flap away, looking like, maybe this was a bad idea. I don't know. There are easier things to poke, I think. And that is your turn, unless there's something else.
Yep, it is prone and restrained. Save ends. It does have a burst 3 though, so I don't know if I just pushed Lachlan into the lava, but sorry.
Oh, are you using the power of the Leviathan's tooth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, in that case, Anduriel, yes, Lachlan, you get shoved into the tree. You Lachlan, you get shoved into the square 20L. That's as far as Lachlan can go. Lachlan, you are effectively pinned against the tree by the force of the Leviathan's tooth.
Oh, dear.
And 1, 2, 3. Odelia, you are 1, 2. Odelia, you get shoved back into square. It's burst 3, right, Anduriel?
Yep, burst 3.
Odelia, you get shoved back into square 14G.
Oh, thank you.
By the force of this. Thora.
That's exactly where I needed to go.
1, 2, 3. Thora, you get shoved back into the Tormentor. You can't. Oh no, wait a minute. You were on top of the Tormentor. Thora, I need you to make an acrobatics or athletics check to stay on your feet.
Which
otherwise,
he's a swarm right now, aren't you? A swarm?
I am a swarm right now. Does that help?
I'll give you a +2 on your roll.
Okay. Plus half my level, plus my dexterity modifier. 18.
It's more than good enough. So you get pushed into square 19F. You are still on top of the Tormentor, Thora.
Okay.
And the swarm gets pushed back into square 21F. And the other one gets pushed back into square 22J.
22J.
Alrighty. So Anduriel slams the Leviathan's tooth into this thing, and boom, a pressure like some kind of enormous foot slams into the ground. The ground itself is depressed. The lava is splashing and disturbed, and you hear a like a sound like that echoes, around this area, like some kind of horrid monstrosity, like a dragon fish, whatever, a dragon fish. There you go.
The dragonfish.
Yeah, or some kind of a horrible aquatic giant lemur.
It's like,
I don't know.
Like a kraken, like a
kraken. Yeah, John, you got kraken in you?
You got a kraken?
You got a kraken sound?
All right, John, we're gonna have John.
We're gonna have John come work on his kraken sound. That's a fart. That's a kraken fart.
Yeah.
Which
I don't know.
Which may be what happened, but that works. Okay, so you smash down into them, activating the magic of the Leviathan's tooth, and leave the dagger in this thing, and it is pinned.
Yes.
This poor little Sturge. Lachlan, you are also pinned up against the tree and cannot move until the end of Enduriel's next turn, which is really going to be fun. Okay. And that was Anduriel's turn. Thora, you are still on the Tormentor.
Yes. And I am Thora is going to move to F20. He's just going to move down the Tormentor a little bit.
Okay.
And then he is going to cast a which one is this?
An
Hold on.
That is a
Swarm
new
of
spell.
Scarabs.
Okay.
Which is a close blast 5, and he is going to angle it so that he hits both swarms if he can.
Yep, you can do that.
Sweet. So first roll. Guys, I'm not playing. I'm not playing.
Is it pretty?
My roll again.
Okay, back that bad boy up, my friend.
Roll
To confirm. Let us see it.
So that is a 12 plus 11 against Fortitude. So
that's a 23. That's a hit. All right, roll the 1d6. Bring on the 6.
All right, here we go. Let's see if it works. It is a 4.
All right. Well, you still get max damage on that first hit, my friend.
Jeez Louise, my rolls are going to be absolute crap.
Yeah, you are using up all of your luck.
All of my luck.
Odelia did that in one of our episodes. She used up all of her luck, and it was rough.
So
you're muted, Tommy.
That's 19 points of damage. Plus 2d6. So that's 24, and now, oh my god, 29.
Plus 5 because it's vulnerable, 34 points of damage.
I mean, it's okay, I guess.
It's
whatever.
I mean, it's
guys,
okay.
I don't know what's happening.
Well, you just did a buttload of damage to a swarm. All right, and then roll your hit on the other one.
And the second scarab.
No,
there it is. No.
Because I'm calling
bad
trick
version.
die if you pulled another shot.
It's the bad version. I rolled.
Oh,
it's against Fortitude, 17.
Its Fortitude is a 22, unfortunately.
Ooh,
dang
bugger.
But I am going to drop my daily, which whenever I use an area power on the Staff of Verdant Growth.
Okay.
Whenever I use an area power, all creatures are slowed until the end of my next turn.
Ooh, that's very nice. Okay.
Do I take the ongoing 5, by the way?
Because you started. Did you start adjacent to it?
Yeah.
No, you didn't start adjacent to it because remember, Anduriel knocked it away from you.
Right. Never mind.
He almost knocked you off the Tormentor, but he did save you 5 hit points. So
he did, and I appreciate that.
I'm sure that's what he was thinking when he did it too. I mean, he would never, thoughtlessly fireball adjacent you or something like that.
He tends to think really deeply before he does these things.
I believe it. I do, not one bit. Okay, so that was beautiful, Thora, and now it would be the Sturge's turn. Okay, so Hungry Flight. The swarm flies up to its speed to the triggering enemy square or a square adjacent to that enemy. The movement does not provoke an attack of opportunity. Alrighty, so Anduriel, it can't move, and the other one can't get near you, which is really frustrating to it. So it is going to fly around and skirt the edge of the Leviathan's tooth. 1, 2, 3. and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that places it next to Thora. So the one in square 22 moves to 21E and moves adjacent to Thora. And he is going to attack you with his swarm of suckerlings, Thora. What is your AC? Does a 19 hit your AC?
It doesn't.
Yes, swing and a miss. Okay, so the swarm that moved swings and misses, doesn't hit you. The other one is going to attack you as well. And that one only gets 6 plus, we're at 21 versus AC. Does that hit your AC?
That does hit my AC.
Oh, anything anybody can do to help him avoid this?
Well, I mean, I have some things, so no worries.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. 14 plus 3 is 17 plus 1 is 18 points of damage and ongoing damage 5.
That is reduced by 4 because I'm in swarm form, and that because they hit me, I have combat advantage against them, and I'm going to use swarm dispersal to drop it by another 10, so I take 4 ongoing 5.
Okay, so it sticks its proboscis through several of these, it's like lightning fast, moving all the bugs, and it hits one bug, and the bug, like, it shapes into 2 and dissolves, and it's like, what? I had bugs on me. So he is just a disgusting writhing mass of scarabs right now that is only getting smaller.
I am quite gross.
Yeah, and Duriel, if he was grossing you out or offend, I mean, he's making himself useful. All right, so that's 1 hit, and now the other one, and Duriel, it's going to poke at you, but it's prone, so it's going to take a -2 to the attack.
Right. Prone and restrained.
All right.
Or whatever that's worth.
Well, he rolled an 18, so it's a 16 on the die. And he gets himself 28 versus AC. Does that hit your AC?
Oh yeah.
All right. So you take Anduriel 2 points of damage. However, you are grabbed. So it's on the floor and it's like it pokes at you. But it manages to poke and stick into your arm. And you're like, really? And then it starts drawing blood desperately. So while you are grabbed, you have ongoing 10 damage, unfortunately, which you will take at the start of your turn. And that is all of the Sturge's turn. And down to Odelia. Miss Odelia, it's your turn.
All right. So tell me, are all the Sturges over by where the Tormentor was?
Here are your Sturges. You got 2 swarms next to Thora. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the big guy is up
Yep.
there by under.
You got 2 swarms next to poor Thora. He is going to take a buttload of damage on his turn. And then you have the one that is grabbed Anduriel right here.
Okay. Well, here's what I'd like to do, and you can tell me if this is possible. I am, thanks to Anduriel, right next to the Sturge that has my harpoon in it. I would like to recover my harpoon.
You did that with your minor action last turn. You already have it.
Oh, I wasn't. I didn't think I was close enough.
Yep, you got close enough.
Sweet. All right. Well, then I would just like to do a howling strike and just charge over there.
Against?
Against the big Sturge.
That has connected itself to Anduriel. Here is your problem, Odelia. The Leviathan's tooth force is sitting in that area until the end of Anduriel's turn. And you've seen him use this dagger before, so you already know you can't get in there. You can't get in there.
Can I even get back across the
Oh yeah.
thing then?
Yeah. You cannot move within 3 squares of the one that is on top of Anduriel, but you could jump across again and easily get to square 20 C and then stick the one of the swarm.
All right.
You could hit both of them with buffeting wave and do more damage.
No, I don't want to do that yet.
Okay.
Especially because Thor is right there.
I don't think, Anduriel, I don't think you have any bursts or blast attacks, do you?
I do not.
So you and Thora are the only one who have bursts and blasts.
That is why I went after the big one.
You could also channel divinity, or you can just take an attack. You can use your howling strike on that one. It's up to you.
That was my plan. How would that work with a swarm though?
Well, you'll do half damage. So you'll roll your damage and we'll cut it in half.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's no fun. If you use buffeting wave, you can angle it. So you can angle it so that they both hit the swarms, but they don't hit Thora. And you will do additional damage because it's a blast.
Have I mentioned that I love this game?
I'll do that then instead.
It's up to you. You can do whatever you want. You could also Mama Bear rage and go nuts. It's entirely up to you.
No, not quite to that point yet.
All right. So Odelia,
I will I'm sorry.
I'll need an athletics check. You need a 10 to jump across the little har.
I'm going to use my harpoon as a pole vault.
That's beautiful.
And that is a 16 plus whatever.
More than enough. So Odelia, you Nadia Comaneci again. You pole vault off, and then you flip and do a full round off and land with your harpoon, and you are now in square 20C.
All right, so I land, do like a 3-point landing with my harpoon at my side, and then I just stand up and push a wall of water right into the swarm.
They really are not going to like that. Go ahead and take your attack. It's against fortitude.
23.
Okay, their fortitude is only 18. So this is the swarm. Their fortitude is 22. You got them. Very nice.
All right. 8 damage.
Okay, so 8 damage plus 5, so 13 points of damage to both of them.
Is it plus 5 now? I only have 4 written on my...
No, it's plus 5 in addition to your 8, because swarms in 4th edition are vulnerable to bursts and blasts.
Oh,
because
cool.
Think about it. If you try to stab into a swarm, you're not going to be as effective.
Yeah.
But if you go kaboom and you fan it out, you're hitting everything in the swarm. So it's far the more effective. And you were the first one to damage the other swarm, which is a wee bit painful, Dave, but it's very nice. Okay, all right, Odelia, you still have a minor action. Would you like to use do anything with your minor action, or are you good to go?
I want to
kill them. Me too.
No, I'm fine. I'm done.
Okay, so Odelia ended in square 20C. That's where she ended her move. All right, Lachlan, my friend, are you adjacent to any? No, you're not. Lachlan, you're pinned. You're also muted.
I'm thinking.
You're thinking. You're muted thinking, so you're not thinking?
So I'm pinned. All right, well, I don't really like how hurt is Thora?
I took 4 points of damage and I was at full health.
Okay, so you're not that hurt. How hurt is Enduriel?
I took two.
Oh. Well, I'm not wasting
But I'm
anything
about
on
to take
you.
10.
He took 2. He's down a surge also because he bled for the vampire.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Well-
don't forget those swarm. My attack makes those birds fall prone.
Oh, very nice.
Ooh.
All right.
Oh, sweet.
So both of those swarms, all of these little birdies, Odelia blasts them with her water wall, and they're like pop, 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 pop. They're wet bird flapping in the.
Well, I can still use staggering note while pinned. I just take a penalty. It's just restrained, right, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what's this? I'm going for the Sturge. It's against will. That's an 8 on the die, plus 14 is 22 versus will.
-2 because
-2, so 20. Yep.
That's exactly what you needed.
Oh, whew.
Okay, so 9 thunder.
Okay.
and I'm gonna push him into square G15.
You're going to push him nowhere. He's pinned by the magic of the Leviathan's Tooth.
Oh.
And if you're wondering if your spell is as powerful as that artifact, or not artifact, as powerful as that Fey magic item, the answer would be no.
Well, so Anduriel can make a melee basic attack for free against it.
Okay, so here's what happens. Lachlan is pinned by the Leviathan's Tooth against the tree and reaches back and goes pong on the iron tree with his sword and aims the tuning fork. And because this thing can't move, he makes it spin in circles. So it's like, ah!
21.
That is, unfortunately, it would be a miss. Did you add your +2 because it's prone?
Oh, I did not. 23.
Right. So you have indeed hit.
Cool. And I can't use the Leviathan's Tooth because it's already used. So I
gotta use your kukri.
The kukri. That is 4.
4 total?
Oh, sorry, I get a bonus, huh?
This is a melee basic attack.
9 points of damage.
All right, and you finish off the other whole Sturge, and the magic of Leviathan's Tooth releases. Lachlan, you are no longer pinned, which is kind of nice. Although, I don't know, maybe Lachlan enjoys being pinned by another. I'm not sure. That's
not
entirely
by a sound.
Okay.
Sound.
No, it wasn't a sound. You felt like you were squished in by a living
Leviathan?
thing. Yeah,
Like
so
force.
it's, I don't know, like wet, sloppy fish.
It's not a good squish.
Like
Not a good
rubbery
snake.
tentacle. It feels like rubbery tentacle. That's
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
gross.
it's no good.
It's like being pinned by seafood. It's terrible. It's
Yeah.
like, okay. And that would be Mr. Laughlin's turn. And Duriel, it is your turn, my friend. Back up to the top of initiative.
Well,
Oh.
I don't have.
May I mention that you see Ashbeak, Ashbeak in the distance. He is not to you yet, but he is now close enough that you have been able to catch sight of his fiery wings.
Okay. Well, a bird would be very helpful right now. I'm going to attack. Oh.
You're going to attack
No.
Ho.
If there's one nearby.
Lachlan, you are going down. It's not.
I'm actually going to ready an action. I don't have anything that could do much damage against the swarm, and I feel like whatever Ashbeak's bringing back with him might be pretty dangerous. So I'm
Well,
gonna
Ashbeak is a bit off in the distance, but he'll probably be here in a couple of rounds.
Oh, so that far away. Well, shoot, then I may as well try and attack. Inspire fanaticism on the swarm that's closest to Thora.
All right, so you move to do that into square 20G.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And this is versus armor class, but I get a minus.
You don't get a minus anything. Why would you get a minus?
Because it's swarm, but the minus comes on the
It's the half the damage.
yeah.
And I was actually re-looking over Swarm of Scarabs, and I just realized I missed something.
Mhm.
The effect creates a zone till the end of my next turn. Creatures in that zone grant combat advantage and take 4 damage if they end their turn there.
Okay.
And I
Well, I
missed
won't
that.
use-
That was my bad.
That is going to hit. That's an 18 on the dice. I have a plus 12 attack bonus, so we're gonna hit.
That is a 30. 18 plus 12. That tends to hit everything at this level.
Yes, sir. So 2 weapon. I'll use the kukri. Plus 2, so 6, 7, 8 plus strength bonus. 12. So that is 14 points of damage minus. So that had a 7.
So 7 points of damage
Yeah.
to swarm number 3. All righty. Well, every little bit helps. All right, so Anduriel,
Yeah.
you move in and you attack. the nasty sturge swarm, and thus it is.
So as I attack, I kind of say this prayer of like, it's like a prayer of wrath and vengeance, and it actually bolsters endurance and my divine power. So I will only take half damage from any damage from that source going forward.
That's
until
going
the
to
end of my next
be
turn.
really good, because unless somebody does something, you are going to start your turn adjacent to it, which, as we all know, causes problems.
Yes.
And speaking of causing problems, Thora, you begin your turn adjacent to 2 of those swarms, and you take 10 points of damage, my friend.
Okay.
That save ends also, even if you leave their aura. So you have multiple small little baby sturges sticking out of your robes now.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me just bring up my calculator really quick, because that's the easiest way to track HP. So Thora is going to give a quick nod to Anduriel. Well, he's in beast form. A bunch of beetles look up at him and go, "Thanks." And he is going to use, yeah, this is what he's going to do. He's going to cast Flowing Swarm, which is a close blast 3. He's going to angle it so he can hit, if he can.
Oh yeah, easily.
Everything. Okay. So here we go.
I hope you got a lot of hit points.
So the first is a 22 against Fortitude.
Exactly what you need to hit.
Oh, thank goodness. And the second is a 23 for Fortitude.
And 1 over what you need to hit. Very nice.
All right. So 4, that was close. Plus 3, 7 plus 7 is 14 points of damage.
So 19 points of damage.
Yep. And since I hit, Flowing Swarm's effect takes effect, and I can shift 4 squares through enemy spaces. So I'm going to shift through F21, E21, and then return to F20.
Okay.
Because if I pass through enemy spaces, they take 4 damage apiece.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So we will add 4 more to that, so they essentially take 23 points of damage each.
Anduriel, are you taking ongoing damage?
No, not yet. I haven't been.
Okay.
Yet.
In that case, I am going to use my minor action to use Knack for Success on myself to allow me to make a save.
Okay, go for it.
What kind of save is it? It's just a D20, right?
You just roll and you need a 10 or higher.
Oh, I got a 10.
Okay, very nice.
Good.
All right, so one of those ongoing 5s. This must be a really dramatic looking fight, basically, between a swarm of scarabs and a swarm of hummingbirds with long beaks. And it looks crazy. I mean, this must look crazy. It's like, it's total bedlam. The witch might be in the background. Fly, my pretty. It's absolutely crazy. And a little disgusting. And you guys are suddenly grateful that he's your gross druid, as he's handily helping to take down these nasty critters. Okay.
Thor deals a butt ton of area damage.
Yes, he does.
No
and
joke.
it's a good thing too, because incidentally, I didn't plan this in order to benefit you. I just picked the sturges from the monster manual. And as you know from reading Descent into Avernus, there are sturges protecting Harriman's Hill. So this is just the benefit of having a variety of party members with different abilities. It makes D&D fun.
I see sturges in my nightmares, man.
Yes.
I hate sturges.
They're ugly. Okay, so that was the Thora's turn. Anything else you want to do? Are you good to go?
No, yeah, that's everything.
All right, Sturge's turn. All right, so Thora, they get up from a prone position, and I don't know what that looks like. I guess they're all on the floor, and then they flap up and they take flight. They're like, we're standing, into the air, and they hate you a lot. because you are making yourself a nuisance. So really, they can't even focus on anybody else but the swarm of beetles that they have to kill. So they're both going to attack you with their swarm of suckerlings.
Okay.
What is your AC, Thora?
A 20.
All right. Oh, you are such a lucky Mo.
Yeah. Oh my
Okay,
God.
so-
I'm using it all though. Next week I'm gonna die.
Okay. Well, hold on a second. That's a 22. They get a plus 15. That's a 22 and a 21. Anything you can do
Okay.
about that, or anybody else?
I cannot do anything about that.
Anybody else going to intervene?
I can only if I was part of the attack. But
But you're
I
not.
don't think I'm part of the attack. So.
Well, son, this is going to hurt.
Yeah.
All right. Thor. Oh, well, that's not too bad. So 6, so 8, 9 points of damage, and another account of ongoing 5, and 12, 17, 18 points of damage. And are you subtracting your swarm bonus?
Yes.
Okay. And another count of ongoing 5. You now have 3 counts of ongoing 5 damage on you. You shook one off with knack for success.
I am officially bloodied.
Okay. All right. And you will take 15 points of damage at the start of your turn, Thora.
Yup.
Which is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Going 5 times 3. We only have about 8 minutes left here, given the time that we started. But it's gonna hurt. All right. And that is the Sturgis Swarm. And now it is Miss Odelia's turn. Miss Odelia, you begin your turn adjacent to one of the swarms, and you take 5 points of damage and ongoing damage 5. Save ends. So at the end of your turn, Odelia, you need to make a save to shake it off.
All right.
It is your turn.
Odelia is angry now, and she's just going to do a howling strike into the swarm nearest her with her grasping spear. So, still not great. That is a 17.
Unfortunately, that is a miss. Its AC is 22.
She's mad, but she's not accurate.
Maybe that's why she's not accurate. And maybe also she's fighting a swarm. So maybe she's like, well, stand still, you bloody thing, and swinging her horrible.
To, skewer him with her harpoon.
Whack, 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 whack. Okay. Yep. You still have a move and a minor.
I'm going to stay right where I am, but I am going to use my minor action to cast Healing Word on Thora.
Good idea.
Thank you.
He's going to need it. Okay, so
you can spend a healing surge, and you get an additional 9, a healing surge plus 9.
Oh, nice.
Okay, and does that manifest like the gentle rain falling on him?
No, when I cast Healing Word, so the gentle rain is blessed. When I cast Healing Word, it's like a little tiny water spout, like the water tornado type thing, but just gentle. Cool. Just goes and very just nice. Spins him around a little bit, and he feels so much better after.
That's beautiful, and it covers all these bugs. It's really weird. She's probably not had a lot of experience covering bugs with this, but it's very effective.
Their carapaces look really shiny and clean now.
Shiny beetles are for the win.
Beetles.
Very nice. Lachlan, my friend, it is now your turn.
Okay.
Oh, I need to make a save, right?
Yes, you need to make a save.
11.
Very good. All right, so you won't take 5 points of damage at the beginning of your turn.
So is Thora still taking ongoing damage?
Oh, 15. Yeah, he's got 3 counts of ongoing 5.
Okay, well, let's start with Divine Metal and let him make a save with a +6.
All right, what do you do to channel? That's Channel Divinity, right?
Nope, it's just one of his bard powers.
Okay.
Oh, that's a paladin power.
Okay.
Yep. So he just whispers and says, Sindel, close his wounds.
Okay.
I rolled a 14 plus 6 for a 20 on the save.
Very good. So only 2 counts of ongoing 5 now. Very nice.
Okay, and then how hurt are these Are they
They've
dissipating?
got one of the swarms, the one that is closest to Anduriel, has taken a lot of Odelia and Thora blast damage. It's very hurt. The other one has barely been touched, and there are plenty of sturges in that swarm.
Mm.
And
I'm
they
just-
ugly.
I'm like Anduriel. I'm less effective with the whole group thing.
You really are less effective in
is-
this situation, but that's
is
okay.
Thora, are you still in the aura of both of them?
Yeah.
He is.
Okay, so I'm gonna deal with that. So I'm gonna cast. I use Majestic Word, and I just say stand back, and you can spend a surge, and you get
Okay.
you get an additional 12 hit points, and I get to slide him back. I'm going to slide him into square F19.
Okay.
2.
So he just has a sprightly step backwards, or I don't know if
Flutter.
if bugs step sprightly, but
Yeah, I'm not sure.
For a moment, they move with the grace of the Griggs, just up into the back seat there.
It's like when birds do that weird formation flying, and all of a sudden they're like, woo, they bank away, except it's nasty bugs. It's beautiful. But your flying formation, it's like a perfect 10, like, honestly.
And then I'm going to take a shot at the one next to Odelia. That's the less hurt one, correct?
Yes, the one next to Odelia is less injured.
Yeah, I want to hit that with a staggering note. So versus Will, the 9 plus 14, so 23 versus Will.
That is a hit.
So he's going to take 9 thunder and be pushed to 22A. And Odelia gets to make a melee basic attack as it goes buzzing past. Wait, did you say I can't push it?
Unfortunately, I believe that is an accurate thing. An enemy that started the swarm cannot the swarm cannot be pulled, pushed, or slid by a melee or ranged attack.
Okay, and that is a ranged attack. So it can't be pushed, but so I can't get it away from her, but she can still take a whack.
She can get a whack at it, Odelia.
Well, I can do that.
Give it a good smack.
Oh, Will then.
Bless you.
Beautiful.
Oh, and that's a 31.
That is a hit. Darn, Trina.
Doing 13 damage.
Okay.
Dang.
So 6 points of damage. Every little bit helps, my friends.
A few of them.
So Lachlan he just looks. He's like, this is taking forever. I'm gonna use an action point and use Song of Discord. So he slams his sword against the tree and then hits a note that's a dissonant note to the one that the sword is making, and fire it at the same one that is less hurt. It's a 21 versus Will.
That is a hit.
Okay. And so he is dominated and makes so I'll control his action next time, but he makes a free attack right now, a basic attack against the swarm next.
Okay, so you hit the less wounded swarm.
The less wounded swarm.
All right.
I'm hoping he can take out the other one.
Well,
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Well, that right there is a 20.
Fight him!
And
Fight him, bugs!
All right, that's a 7 plus 15 is 22, which hits its AC. That's only a 3. Sorry. But it's
max
still
damage.
Max damage.
And it's swarm versus swarm. Does that count as a close attack?
Well, it would, except that their attack is just a melee attack. So unfortunately, they resist just melee attacks. It does not attack as a swarm. which sounds like, oh, that's still a pretty great hit. So 22, 23, half of 23 points of damage is still 11. And that does not kill it, unfortunately, but it does hurt it quite a bit more.
So close.
How long is it dominated?
Just till the end of my next turn.
All right. Was that your action point that you used to do that? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Just putting
Cool.
next to Lachlan, action point. Okay. Very good. And that was the end of the turn, and it pretty much brings us to the end of the night. Now, the last thing that happens before all of this goes down is Ashbeak comes into view, and Ashbeak reaches square K2. Okay. So there he is up at the top at the very edge right there. And that is not quite close enough for him to use his telepathy. So he screeches out, he's like, "There's another infernal engine headed right up the hill behind me." And that is where we'll end, with the knowledge that right behind Ashbeak is another infernal engine.
Well, all right.
And we will go from there. Okay, well, that was exciting.
You guys got me back up to full.
Yeah, that,
All right.
very impressive. And Thora, you now only have 2 counts of ongoing 5 because they granted you saves and healed you. So that will be easy to deal with, hopefully. Any case, we'll see what comes up the hill. I'm sure it's a friend. I mean, I'm sure.
Somebody to help us.
It's like it's probably like a flock of nuns. They're just in an infernal war machine.
In hell.
In hell. With Girl Scout cookies. That's what I think.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And anyway, so that was quite enjoyable. Thank you, everybody. And tonight we have our thoughtful moment that we like to have called Consider This. So feel free to stick around if you want to hear an inspirational or spiritual thought, and feel free to end it here if you would like to. Tonight, our inspirational thought, our Consider This, is brought to us by Tommy.
Okay, so I have been noticing, at least around here in Utah, now that things are, slowly starting to open back up again, and we're in kind of this transitional phase. Now it seems like there's a lot more contention brewing, and a lot of people, especially on the question of masks, no masks, should businesses open it up? Should it? And instead of this, we're all in this together feeling, I've noticed on social media, people are really getting on each other's cases. And it reminded me of this scripture from Ephesians chapter 4, verses 31 through 32. And it says, "Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake hath forgiven you." This is one of my favorite scriptures, because, not that I would ever lose my temper or let bitterness or wrath or anger get the better of me.
Yeah.
But, it's just a reminder that in the bigger picture, these things don't matter, and we need to put those things away and focus on loving each other and viewing each other the way that God views us. And especially in this crazy world stage that we live in, I think it's a lot of, tempers are starting to run high. People have a lot of quarantine fatigue, and they want to get back to work, and they want to get back to being with their families and friends. And so I think it's so important to remember that bigger perspective and choose love instead of anger.
Any other thoughts to go along with that?
Continue to be safe and do what you can to mitigate risk. Because, if you're going back to work, just make sure you're careful about it. Make sure you keep washing your hands. Make sure if you have a mask that you wear a mask. Like, I know they're uncomfortable because I wear them whenever I go out, but like, do what you got to do to stay safe, because it's still there. It's just we're finally opening some doors.
I think the quarantine fatigue is starting to really wear on our kids. And I don't just mean our kids in this stream, but I think on people's children in particular. This is hard for them. Our children are at an age where they're really social, and they're also learning social skills, and they're cut off from their normal social opportunities. And some of it's fun. I mean, we're very blessed to live in an age where we have video games and movies and screens and tablets, and we can reach out to the entire world from our screens, but it's not the same. And it's, you know, it's wearing down. I had my daughters both had quarantine meltdowns last night for the first time. And, you know, I think that I can remember to speak more kindly to them. Not that I ever lose my temper or anything. I mean, not that that happens, but it's a good reminder. Yeah, this is for everyone else. What is that scripture again, Tommy? It's Ephesians what?
Ephesians, let me look again real quick. Let's see here.
Oh, you can always message me later. I want to look it up.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Ephesians 4:31 and 32.
Well, it's a good reminder. Any other thoughts?
Amen.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone. We will see you in 2 weeks, and have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye. Have a good night.
Bye.